Look at that freaking t-shirt.
It's got that thing that was in the Queenstown Lake, but it's got a
gyrocopter, that one. Is that, that's what they call that? Because they actually take off. They only have propulsion that way, and that's the airspeed.
Dad, take pictures in at the moment because I want pictures for my scope to have news.
Go and stand in front of it then. Stand in front of the cockpit. What are you doing in there, George? Does it smell like, mate? Gunpowder?
I was just thinking if it was fuel or water. You can get that smell of fuel, right?
Did you know? I got a souvenir already. I got a magazine, a plane magazine.
You got a magazine, mate?
Yeah.
Nice. I'll come at the front, we get the photo from the front wheel. That's a pretty sweet cockpit on there.
We'll be back with more soon.
Oh, that's the front. Yeah, man.
Revenger. Oh, that's a Spitfire there. Spitfire P51.
This is what we're seeing now, this Vampire, representing part of the golden era.
And he flew the low like 19 as well.
Doesn't get much better. 3 minutes. Doesn't get much better than that, ladies and gentlemen.
And the Mustang also owes its origins to the British.
As that 3V12s come back around again, ladies and gentlemen, we have an air show.
They're over there was saying that they can glide.
It's a little bit more blunt, less streamlined than the Mark 9. Well, that's basically for an enlarged oil tank there for those missiles that they undertook. Vertical cameras here.
So these strike markers that we have there following the...
So to cure that, they made the jet plane very short, and the only way out of that then was twin moves. Funnily enough, possible deployment.
Here's a photo opportunity, folks. The Vampire hugging human.
For that jet engine as well. Beautiful sound.
Like any de Havillands, I don't think there's been an ugly de Havilland ever built. I mean, you might.
But it would have been a hell of a machine in the 60s. Hey, look at that, look at this box. Look at it. That's cool, man. Better get some heat soon.
Two more Robbies coming in at 22. Who's sitting in that 22 to the air show? A couple of 44 Robinsons. An Airbus EC-130B4. And then right down the right-hand side, we have a very special helicopter indeed. Mr. Simon Bensabara and two officers old Howard UH-12B. So I won't have this machine. Same engine as the R44 Robinson, although it's not derated, so it's going to actually 1.5 horsepower as opposed to 245. Is a designate for utility helicopter. You can fit 15 people in one of these that put on a fantastic display. So the aircraft weighs 3.6 or can actually lift 3.6 tons. Oh, nice. That heats us up a wee bit. That'll get rid of some of the cloud.
It's a direct hit in that fuel canister out there. It's funny how they keep hitting it.
So that 3.6 ton external load, the helicopter, the Black Hawk, is capable of travelling at 120 knots with that underslung load.
Extremely manoeuvrable.
And it can cruise at 140 knots. Give them away, folks. Mark Law's Jason Hill, they're two up in there, sideways down the line. 3% of the 3%ers, the SAS, a decorated soldier.
Used as a troop ship, very, very successful with the different arms of the United States, Australia. We also have the Seahawk Romeo for Seahawk, and I believe you guys are getting those as well.
Yes, we are.
So you may have seen some of you may have seen these configured with big outriggers.
See?
You see the one high piece. The machine can be seen from above.
So now it's a legal requirement in New Zealand for FENS, Fire and Emergency New Zealand, to have the high-vis blade systems if you are fighting fires or doing any work, utility work like that.
What have we got going on here?
What on earth happened here? I was talking to Mr. Peter Spencer about before. He's flying the MD-500, and it's a race between one, actually,
by a long chalk.
but he's got a bit of a wet tarmac at the moment. And let's see how he goes. He brings it back around. Peter said he was going to get him this time.
This Aston Martin, that's the Vulcan, isn't it?
No, this is not a Vulcan. This is an F1 Aston Martin, this one. So the Vulcan is still, I do have one at Highlands, but this is the F1 Aston Martin. There's Kynan.
He's going like a cat.
Nudging the brakes there. You wouldn't want to miss your brake markers. He'll be down on the lug at top before he knows it. Pete coming up at the 500. Nice big torque turn over the top. Down he comes. Kynan's putting the boot into it now. Left foot Kynan, you.
We have the checkered flag out up here.
Right, here we go. Checkered flag, folks. Look left.
Oh. Well, it's now 1-1.
One apiece, that's right. Pete Spencer Bauer takes that one out. Give him a hand, folks. So the Tigers, the Gypsy Majors here, running on pretty much 91 fuel. RD Petroleum celebrating 100 years this year. As they come on down, led by Vaughan Davis. As you know, I'm getting parallax here.
Commonly referred to as the golden age of aviation, right? That's what we're seeing now, folks, the golden age of aviation. combination of aircraft used both militarily and in the civilian landscape as well. And at the back of the pack there, the subject of the movie that's screening in town for the next couple of nights, if you want to get along, 6 or 6:30, something like 6:30 I think it is, at the Cinema Paradiso. It's a great documentary, a bit of a peek behind the scenes of the process that Vaughan went through to bring another chipmunk back to life on the planet.
We've got a couple of cars down there on the runway. This first one is being driven by Ryan Dews, and he's actually got a one-up on his Club 11 because he is performing with a V12 that the sound, it is not the engine making that noise. That is actually the sound of those prop tips going transonic.
Long Wings has been piloted by Doug Hamilton, 26.5 metre wingspan on Aerotow.
I remember Doug Hamilton when he used to work for the Pilots, he's serving no longer in Queenstown, and then he went and joined the Civil Aviation Authority, the feds as he calls them, but he's out. Ladies and gentlemen, Bevan Dews.
Started with this North American Harley. 600 horsepower with the R1340 engine. You may wonder why they call it Steadfast. It's after Reno's Stead Airfield. It's 10th of October 2011. It's at the official international speed record for piston engine aircraft under 3,000 kilos. Was at 655 an hour or 416 miles an hour in the old money. The following year in February, it's
And that smoke generation system on this particular aircraft is quite different to the other aircraft we're seeing at the show.
That's correct. This is from a type developed by the Sanders, famous for their Sea Fury restorations due to the vortices coming off the wingtips. Basically, with those wings, you've got low pressure on the top surface, you've got high pressure underneath. And you think it's only going from front to back, but it actually works its way out of the wing as well. So some of you may have seen the photos of them were fitted with a Ford but there's lots of photos that have been taken. He tootled across the channel, attacked, pulled it to bits and took it back home. There's photos of the turbines as well. And these aircraft were unarmed.
Well, I was going to...
Armament of 4 20mm Hispano cannons.
We've talked a lot about the variants. I love the Harvards. I actually have one in my backyard that I pulled apart and put back together once.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Right? Yeah.
This, as you see, the museum and a couple of overseas buyers. One day I want to see a Mark 1 flying with a Mark 24.
Start to finish.
If I may quote Adolf Galland, the first and the last. So many aircraft. To see those.
A lot of sponsorship involved in it. If you are a sponsor here enjoying Warbirds over Wanaka and you've contributed to anything that makes the show possible, we just want you to know how much you're valued. Tim and pioneering this, and those who have been coming to the show for a while will remember the absolutely impossible things that he achieved. You never told Sir Tim Wallace that you couldn't do something.
Well, you can never tell a Kiwi you can't do something.
Now, I'm going to bring... Yeah, we'll never forgive them for that.
No, but I don't think there are many similarities between the Hillman Avenger and the Grumman Avenger.
I think the Morris Marina came a close second, didn't it?
It would have, yeah, it would have. All those cars, and that three-wheel thing, the Reliant Rock.
Beautiful. Oh, man, this is a world-class restoration. Because you guys are doing limited. And it was basically a thought by one of the Rolls-Royce engineers as to how it would go with the Merlin that saw the success of the Mustang. British engine, American airframe.
It's quite an impressive sound, isn't it?
Very. Once the Merlin engine was introduced on the P-51B, that really was the start of the legend of the Mustang. The fighter would be at theatre and used in the Pacific. Started off with different armament, some based in the fuselage and the wings. settling on 650 calibers.
Motion. There's a canopy up past. What's this one, Ben? V12, I can tell the sound of it. Thanks, boys.
Altitudes, that the Luftwaffe was told not to fight that type at low altitude. People say some like airplanes, he was so successful in others. It's not necessarily the right. Lovely to be back here, thank you.
You haven't aged, by the way.
Neither of you.
As you were, Brody. Thank you. Feet together, boy. Huggy there. Huggy Hewan, folks. Give a big hands. And the de Havilland Vampire, and also Mr. Ian Brody. Right back to the days of 1988 when we had Warbirds on parade. We'll hear more from Ian Brody, call sign Broads, tomorrow. Very similar to the Harvard in some ways, that transonic clock that we spoke about, giving us that wonderful pitch, that wonderful zone.
And the square is the Vampire there, so a lot of noise. Anyone that's a bit cold sensitive, please use some sort of hearing protection. If you don't have earplugs, the Mark 1 index.
has the unique challenge of keeping 3 airplanes on his wing. For the engine to transition from idle to full thrust. Another gorgeous pass coming from our 2026 American Eagles from the right.